Awesome. Welcome to the Stand Up Speakeasy. I'm your host, Sareth Ney, and this is a secret society of stand up comics. Only the cool kids get to hang out in here. Well, cool comics, anyways. And so this is pretty awesome to have this cool dude, cool cat, Mr. King Hooker, on board. Hey, what's going on there, King Hooker?
What's up, man? Not too much. How about yourself?
Nothing much, dude. Just looking forward to interviewing you. We've done some shows in the past together, some festivals together. Well, I'm gonna start giving press to all my people before the festival happens this year. So, yeah,
Hell
pretty
yeah, I'm
stoked.
stoked, man. I appreciate you
Mm,
having me.
Awesome. Anytime, bud. Anytime. Yep, it's gonna be a cool night. Sam's back, so she's gonna do some songs with jokes on them.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
her name on the list. She's amazing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's
indeed.
fantastic stuff last year.
Have you seen John Porter too?
John
He's pretty.
Porter's great. Yeah, he does the musical comedy stuff. I like his little. It's been a year or two, but it's a lot of like one-liners with an acoustic guitar. It's
Yep.
good shit. Yeah,
Hell yeah. He's like, just give me 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, you got 10 minutes. So I'm like, we
yeah.
can. Good stuff. Good stuff. So you're a musical comedian from Central Florida. It's like, what brought you to Central Florida?
Oh, I'm from here. I
Uh,
Yeah, Winter Haven is my hometown. That's where Laugh Out Lounge is. That's the only comedy club in Polk County as far as legitimate room. Uh yeah. And I live in Lake Wales, which is the next town over. Otherwise, I lived in Houston for about a year, but no, I've been here all my life.
wow,
I'm a
that's
Florida
awesome.
baby.
Hell yeah, dude. Shout out to Mike Lee and Malachi and the whole staff there. They're awesome. Like that.
Absolutely.
That room is magical. Like I did their open mic once, and I'm like, man, this is just a great crowd all the way around. They get comedy. They're awesome.
It is. Half of them are True Leave employees. So they're just like getting off of work, working with weed all day, and then coming to the comedy club. They go
Wow.
around, y'all going to see Ha Ha's tonight, and come out and see us.
Indeed, I've done like at least one show with Mike out at the Bank and Blues in Daytona Beach, um, and it was like I think Devin Siebold was on the bill, and
Ooh, very nice.
yeah, and I brought my room divider on stage. She dressed up as Wu Manchu. It's just like we had a wild
Nice.
time. Yeah, it's like what the hell's going
I
on
had to
here?
enjoy that.
But I mean, we made it work. It was rad, and like Peter O'Keefe and Mike Panzer make the best like promo videos. And I'm like,
Yes,
they're awesome.
they
In,
absolutely do. Mike Pantzer, I think I've done a show with him in Daytona at a sober living community. I think he was headlining, and it was a Christy B show. Um, yeah, and it was Bike Week too in Daytona, and you know how that is.
yeah.
So it's just loud as shit everywhere, and we're outside. That's what I meant to say that too. But we're playing
Wow.
for these really cool people, this sober living community, and yeah, just every other punchline, it's a motorcycle ripping through, and you can't hear yourself think.
Wow. Brutal. But I'm glad we're
He's
gonna be
hilarious.
in. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
awesome. We're gonna have some fun in a dive bar like usual. It's my favorite dive bar
absolutely.
in all the land. The
Big time. I
Nog.
got a lot of love for the Nog.
Hell yeah. I mean, they're going on like 13, 14 years of stand up. I'm like, this is legendary.
Jesus, yeah, that's right behind. Have you done Bullenbush in
Yeah.
Orlando? I think the
Hmm.
shit sandwich is like 15 or so years, something around that, like right on its heels. Absolutely. That's
Indeed.
pretty awesome. I didn't realize it was that long. I knew about a decade, but that's dope.
Hell yeah, dude. They gotta. If you can survive the Nog, you can survive anywhere. So
Yeah, just
that's
about.
yeah. That's why I go last when there's like only four people in the audience. I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna close this out. So
Yeah.
mm.
Don't mind
No,
headlining.
they love me there. It's heaven on earth for sure for me. And because I don't know. It's just driving so far for comedy all the time is like, and this one's not too bad of a drive. So
Yeah, it's a lot. I was
comedy.
in Cape Canaveral yesterday, and that
Oof.
was two and a half.
What show are you on there in Cape Canaveral?
Oceanside Distillery.
Oh, nice.
Eugene, oh, what's his last name?
Singleton.
Singleton, thank you. I was gonna
Yeah,
say I'm like not Torres. That's a different Eugene.
yeah,
But yeah, Eugene Singleton, man. Great comic, great room. It was one of the first times I think they had comedy there, so legit place for sure.
and he's definitely keeping the boat afloat out on the Space Coast. So, hope he's one of them.
Yeah.
He's that scene is blossoming like something else. It's beautiful to watch.
Isn't it? It really is. The factor of like I think 6, 7 months ago, a lot of new guys just kind of came into it and have really been coming up since then. I couldn't be prouder. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, it's like the East Coast Austin.
Yeah, it is, dude. Absolutely it is.
Yep.
And I always say St. Pete's like the California of Florida, you know? The other side.
Wow, awesome. Yeah, I need to start going there and all that good stuff and checking out all those like Preacher and Preach Carter and all those guys are just amazing. They're just
Oh
and
yeah.
a
Preach,
lot of
Kyle, Brian. Yeah.
yeah, Kyle, like all of them, they're just I don't know. I'm just happy that they're going to be on the bill this year with us too. It's
Yeah,
they're good
man.
folks. Yeah, most definitely.
That's gonna be
So
great.
your act consists of giggly jingles with stand-up bits in between original songs and parodies, and I love them all. Like they're just the best. You just
That's
keep
what
it,
I appreciate that, man.
yeah, man. Like the Nog people love you. Like we buy our CDs. I still have your CD in my car, and usually I just I get a CD, listen to it once, and give it away. But yours is like a permanent stay in my car. Like I just, yeah, like
I
man.
appreciate that.
Hell yeah, dude. It's just I love it, like your Taco Bell song and all that good stuff. So,
Yeah, yeah, that was a fun one to write for sure. That's I shot in their parking lot too, the music video, they didn't care, you know. And the beef is fucking orange. It's like I remember that was part of the video. I was like hitting tacos with baseball bats, and it's just like this big orange mush just kind of exploding. It's like, ugh,
yeah, that's
can't
so
fuck
good.
with it.
No way.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you have millions of streams on Spotify, dude. That's incredible. Like,
I would say just shy. The only like thing of stretching the truth is probably around two. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, it's multiple, so I can say that, you know. But at the same time, it's like, accumulatively for 10 to 12 songs that I have out for my entire discography, yeah, I think that's what they've gotten altogether.
awesome. And they pay out $2. So it's like,
Yeah, yeah, it's 0.003 cents per stream. So
that's
people are like, "Oh, that's money, bro." No, it's not. It's filled my car twice in my life.
man, that's why we gotta do the live shows and, you know, get our cash out there that somehow, some way. For the most part,
Yeah.
some of them they just don't pay us, and it's just mean. Like we drive all the way out. But then again, we have to negotiate our terms and conditions before we take the gig anyway. So that's
Oh,
been
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's been my mistake for the past 10 years. So, but I don't think I deserve to get paid like earlier in my career though, because I'm like I gotta get good first. So
Well, same. I still don't think I have big time imposter syndrome, and I think we all go through that in a certain extent when it comes to stand up. Um, but yeah, I feel like I don't deserve a damn thing. So I'm always very blessed. At the same time, there's another person in the back of my head like, well, what do you think you're worth at the end of the day? And that's what you try to put forward. And it's like, okay. So it's a good healthy balance.
for sure. I noticed like when I did the Orlando Improv, the main stage, I booked everyone and produced it, and I was the feature, and they only gave me 10 minutes because everyone walked in late, but we packed that place out.
Sure.
So I'm like, all right, they only gave me 10 minutes, but they were supposed to give me a half hour, and the pay was still $100. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do a hundred
Hey,
bucks for 10 minutes. That's a good rate.
yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah, man. Absolutely. Any day. I'll take that. And I mean, that looked amazing as well. How was that?
Oh, it was amaze balls, dude. Like it was
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
holy
Felt
crap.
magical, huh?
Yeah, dude. I didn't expect. We were only expecting like 70 people in the audience. Like a couple. Like that's what the guest list was. But little did we
Sure.
know that I was on like Real Laughs radio, with like James John and like
The
uh,
monsters in the morning. Yeah.
mhm. And I was like, you know what? I played it smart because I was gonna put all Daytona comics on the bill with me, but I was like, we can't even sell out like Fat Fish Blue Stage. Like nobody was there, and like Ken took a photo of like the empty room. I'm like, I'm so glad you're gonna go with that route. And so I just said, all right, everyone that's on the radio, I'm putting on, so that was a constant promotion. So I got everyone that's on each comic that was on each show, and so it was a constant promotion, and we packed that baby out like 280 seats. I was like out of the 300.
Dude,
Yeah,
fuck yeah.
it was a pretty
God, that's beautiful.
smart move for sure. Um,
Absolutely, absolutely, especially with dealing with that, because that's a what 350 max or something in there.
Something like that.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you were just about at capacity. That's amazing, dude.
yeah.
That's fucking phenomenal.
And
Yeah, I did it once. I think in 2020, I won my round of the New Faces competition, and I got a good 5 minutes, on the main stage, and it was great. It was like just a very memorable time. I need to get back there. It's just because of like we were talking about traveling and the fact that I'm not in front of someone's face all the time, as a lot of these comics can be that live in those towns.
yeah,
Sprinkling a bit of all over. That's the only disadvantage. But dude, it's beautiful when you can do it. It's
uh,
fantastic.
yeah, most definitely. My goal was to do it once, and I did it twice with like Florida's Funniest. Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, and I forgot like my glory hole joke on my first time around, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna do my glory hole joke on Florida's Funniest, and then Renee that books the whole thing and sets everything up. She goes, I am truly scarred from that.
I've been hesitant on. I entered last year. They didn't even look my way. They didn't even put me through the first preliminary or whatever.
Hmm.
So yeah, I do enter some competition, but hey, I give it to Donald winning last year. That's my boy, Donald Evans. Shout out to him. Um, yeah, yeah, it's a fun time. That is a good way to get on there too.
Absolutely. And I tried to get Donald on the fest this year, but he was booked. And then tried to get Tony Wellens on the bill because he won the March Madness at the other bar, and then he moved to
Yeah,
Austin. I'm like, great. And that's like my way of
everybody's going to Austin.
right. Are you going to Austin?
No, no, I mean not yet. There might be plans. There's a lot of people pulling me in that direction, that's for sure. But yeah, visit first. I want to definitely go for a week or two. Do some spots, and then we'll see.
I want to kind of go on tour from like here to Austin and back again in February. We'll see how that goes. But speaking of
Yeah,
touring, you toured the country. What are some of your favorite spots to perform?
well, when touring I haven't toured the whole country. I've been on through the Carolinas and back. That's the most recent like large scale thing I did a couple years ago. And funnily enough, that was via hooked up the music scene. I played in bands back in the day, and because of that, I'm still very good friends with some of those bands. And there's a guy who shout out to Bay Street. They're like a hardcore punk sort of band, and the guys that are in there are like, hey, we'll take you on half of the shows. You can either middle, not even just play up front. But most of them, I didn't mind playing up front because I am a solo comedian act, singing songs about drugs and genitals. So, but it worked, man. Those metalheads loved it. Um, yeah, I went up through there and back. I've been to California. I was like, I've been a lot of places, but formed wise, just there. New York, I did a couple spots, couple years, oh, maybe 3, 4 years ago now. But and Georgia, Alabama when I can.
Indeed. That should be the name of your next album is Drugs and Genitals.
Yeah, yeah, man.
That's awesome. Oh man, I've never done New York, but I've always wanted to, so well, I'll put that on the list. But Alabama, Mobile, Alabama is fun. Savannah and Atlanta are fun. Like those are pretty cool spots for sure for stand up.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Atlanta's awesome. New York, it's like a lot of the mics, and I hear too more than experience, but still saw a little bit of it where it's like you usually got to pay. It's like 5, 10 bucks, and then it is a room full of comics, you know,
Mm,
that don't really care about you in that regard, and it's more of especially those towns like LA or New York. It's a fish in the sea type of thing when it comes to comics, where our communities here in Florida, they feel a lot close knit. Like I know the Daytona guys, I know the Melbourne and the Orlando, Tampa guys, and I can kind of put them in little brackets in my head. But you can't do that anywhere else for the most part.
Mm-mm. No way. That's why I'm so thankful that, like we have a really dope stand-up state. It's like everyone can poop
Yeah,
on us all they want, but like the stand-up scene is fire. Like we are fire.
no, absolutely. It's bred a lot of. I mean, who's taken over Austin right now? Let's be honest about it. It's a lot of guys going out there because that is the main comedy hub at the moment, I suppose. But still, yeah, also going to New York and people going to LA. Yeah, no, my Ben's in LA. I know Christoph's in New York. So it's like, yeah, there's a couple that break off, but I know a majority of them are going to Austin.
Mhm. So I mean, we got Cam. I was so lucky to have Cam last year on the fest, and he just
Oh
took
yeah,
off.
he's great.
And then like, man, I had Ariel Isaac Norman on the fest last year too, but she was on the panel on Kill Tony. So I was like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a lot of these people on Kill Tony have been on my fest in some way, form, or fashion. And like
Yeah.
William Montgomery was on my fest in Colorado as part of a sketch.
Oh shit, no way.
Yeah,
Good
dude.
shit.
And
He's hilarious.
he's hilarious for sure. He had a sketch with his crew from Denver called the Mutt Plug, and it's like butt plugs for dogs.
Jesus.
I know.
Good lord.
I'll have to send you the sketch. It's so hilarious.
Absolutely. Please do.
Awesome. So you've been on shows with Drewski. What was it like working with Drewski?
Oh shit. So that was a fluke maybe 2, 3 months ago. He has a I don't know if you're familiar with Drewski. He's niche at the same time. He's really big in his own right, you know? Because that's what everybody when we were the people auditioning to be on the show were telling each other. That's all we were telling our friends all day is like, do you know who Drewski is? Because it's like he's yeah, comedian internet personality, I would almost say, because he does like skits and sketches and stuff like that. He's very funny, but he does this coulda, woulda, shoulda records. Coulda been records is what it's called, and it's basically a little talent show where it's ghetto. He has like just people come out, they try singing, rapping, whatever the hell, and he just kind of shits on them, and it's funny. And he does a live version where he travels everywhere, and I submitted for it maybe like in February, and I get a email less than 24 hours beforehand saying, "Hey, we really liked your clip. Come on down tomorrow before this time." And I'm like, "Oh shit!" So I had to get off work early, drive to what was it? The Dr. Phillips Center in Walt Disney. So the big like 2,500 seat theater, 50, 60 people. Came down to like 10 to 12 that actually got on the show. I was like number 10. I was on stage for not more than 4 minutes, but dude, that was insane. That's probably the biggest crowd I've done.
Wow, that's incredible, dude.
Yeah, it was magical. He seemed cool for the little bit of time, but it's just sort of a yeah. He's you got to fit in a girl that can twerk on him in that show. You got to fit in just a lot of. There's a guy that brought a dildo that was tattooed up. That's all he had to offer. He didn't have talent. He's just like Star Wars. You gotta have that guy. And then they had me. They had. So it was fun.
Indeed. There's a show at the Whiskey a Go Go with Billy that's he's done like sets with like members of Digital Underground. And it reminds me of that show for some because it's so wild. It's like,
Yes,
yeah,
it was rowdy, dude.
wow, good stuff. So you also were on the bill with Froggy Fresh, and his songs are pretty epic. So how did you link up with Froggy Fresh?
That was another music booker years ago. That was at Will's Pub actually, where so right across on Mills in Orlando. He was doing a tour, and I was like, oh my god, I could definitely open up. And I knew the guy vaguely, so I'm like, hey, can I jump on this? So that was late 2020, I think, when that show went down. And he was good. He was really nice. The disappointing thing, I did a good 30 for him beforehand, killed. He gets up, does a lot of serious music, you know? And that's like, I've written serious music in the past and stuff like that, but you can't really be known for. doing a lot of the funny songs, and that was a really good example of that. And then coming through with like a whole album worth of songs that these people just didn't know. So people were coming up to me going, "Hey man, well, what's going on? Wasn't you did the funny stuff? Why isn't he being funny?" And he closed with two funny songs, and then that was it. That was the only like reference. Boyfriend, your boyfriend's a bitch. He ain't shit. He can suck on my dick, and a whole lot of gang shit. So those were the only funny songs for the whole hour and a half that he was on there. It was little, not shit. He's still a very great guy and very talented, but was yeah unexpected.
Indeed. Push. Oh, oh. Hooker, can you lower the volume on your end a little bit? Because I can hear my echo.
Oh my bad. Lower it.
Yep, just a tad.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
It's wild. I feel like I'm in the Grand Canyon, but you're totally fine. So you've also opened for Steve Heitner or Hitner. How do you pronounce that?
Heitner. Yeah, that was a guest spot at LOL maybe earlier this year. He came through, and I was just going as an attendant, but I'm so good with Mike, and Mike's been so great to me over the years. I was like, hey, can I do a guesty westy for him? And yeah, and he was really cool. Um, funny. Do you know Lisa Rod Davis?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, we were backstage, me, him, and her talking in the little elevator shaft green room that is at LOL. That's what it used to be if you've ever been back there. And we're sitting and there's brick wall, and he's got his back. He's telling us a couple stories and stuff. And all of a sudden, big ass roach just comes out from one of the bricks or whatever. And he's like, "Oh my god!" And Lisa like gets it with the flip flop and immediately stomps it out,
Oh,
puts the
jeez.
chair back, and he just goes back to his story so fluidly. It was just like so smooth. It didn't happen for more than 5 seconds. It was so funny. But he was super nice. Yeah, that's guy that was on Seinfeld. That's gold, Jerry. That's gold. That dude.
For sure. Gosh, like I can't be mean to roaches after watching Freddy Krueger turn that one lady into a cockroach. Like I'm gonna be nice to every one of them.
No, I still hate him. No, I can't. Oh, that's my least favorite bug.
Indeed,
Mm-mm.
they're pretty scary. It's like Joe's apartment all over again. But
Yeah,
yeah, you'll also run the bill with Ken Miller too. He's a Florida legend, the Godfather of Orlando comedy. So what was that
yeah.
like?
I think I did. Yeah, I definitely copy and pasted what I sent to another show because they wanted a bio recently, and I'm like, he's a name. He's enough of a he's Steve Harvey's favorite. He Ken's a great guy. Let me see. I've done probably 20 to 30 shows with him at this point now. Just being in the area in Orlando, he is definitely the godfather of the Orlando scene, and that's what everybody refers to him as. And yeah, he couldn't be. He has taught me valuable lessons without having to tell me a thing. You know, just kind of watching him and his craft. I've seen him put his phone down to do 20 minutes, watch himself, and literally on the last second is when he's saying goodbye. And I was like, damn, to get that precise to your time. And I'm like, I need to get there for sure.
Indeed, he roasts me from the stage sometimes, and and that's love. Like when people roast me from the stage and they're my buddies, they're like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like Vince Taylor does that, and Will Blaylock in Jacksonville does too. I'm like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
this is
Love
awesome.
both those guys.
Yep, good folks, most definitely. And but yeah, who else have you shared the bill with? I know there was like more folks, but that are most notable to you.
Oh man, that's that. I was gonna say that's a highlight list. A lot of local headliners and stuff down here. I mean, a lot of guys I think we know mutually. Oh, who the heck else? Of course, a lot of Orlando guys. Scott Orbany, Carmen. Yeah, I just feel like a lot to remember. Definitely, you meet a lot of. Hey, I was in a movie for 3 second guys. You know what I mean?
Oh
That
yeah,
have enough clout and enough money and stuff from like being an extra kind of second hand, third hand character in a movie to where it's like they're touring and stuff. And it's that level between they're not a household name, but they've made a career in comedy, which there's respect to. I mean, hey, that's my goal. I think that's all our goal. Um, so yeah, it's a lot of those names you wouldn't know if you weren't in the industry yourself. Do you feel that way too?
yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. I like being like the undercover famous dude. Like Kevin Tibert's like, you know what? He may look strange and he stays quiet and by himself, but he's the most famous dude in this bar. Like, and then he tells everyone, yeah, he's hung out with the Wu Tang Clan. He's done this, done that. I'm like, they text message him on his birthday. They don't text message me
Yeah,
on my birthday. Like, he's just
they
trying to.
don't.
No, I'm just friends with
Yeah,
their manager and stuff.
yeah.
Um, but I'm like, look, he's just trying to get me laid. So I'm like, whatever. Oh, Kevin, he's wild. Uh, I love
He
that
is.
guy.
Love him to pieces. He's headlining. Where is he headlining? Oh, Madcaps, I think, coming up here.
Oh, nice. Yep, I saw him headline twice before, like back to back once, and he's he has it. He has it.
Yes, yes, he does. He's a fantastic writer. Him and like Donald and Cam too. You know, that's blown up off Kill Tony. Just good examples of guys that are phenomenal writers.
Yeah, indeed, most definitely, awesome stuff. So, Mr. King Hooker, this is the part where it's I ask everyone the usual questions. I'm not sure if I ever did this with you, but it's like the questions I asked all the comics in that I've ever interviewed. So, with that being said, what inspired you to perform stand up comedy?
Oh gosh, it's gonna sound corny as hell, but I guess just not taking myself as seriously, you know, in life and in general. And I feel like that's a good status quo to have is to always, you know, hit yourself over the head with some humbleness and just realizing we're all human and we're all here to do the same thing and material things are what it is. So why can't we just laugh at it while we're here? You know, we're just vibrating, giggly things on a rock in the middle of space. Um, but specifically, I know that that's, you know, broad in a Disney Channel answer. Uh, I was a fan of it all my life before like wanting to do it. I was like 22 when I kind of crossed in that stand up realm. It was like April of 2019 is when I really started pushing the gas on it. Because I was doing music for a long time, and then I started writing funny songs, and I'm like, oh, more people have clicked on this way more ever than a stupid love song I wrote with a punk band or some shit. Uh, so yeah, that's what started that engine, and I'm like, okay, this is maybe a path I should walk down some more, and it's been nothing but great.
Indeed, for sure. And what was it feeling like when you first performed stand up?
Ooh, awful. I still, you know, and there's a little bit of that. I'm sure you feel this way too, where it's like there's still maybe not that much nervousness, but there's always a hint of nervousness that even from your first time getting up to now, it's always there a little bit. Um, yeah, it was just, you know, strangers, and I'm like, why? I'm going to try this shit because I started doing the musical comedy songs, and I had maybe a couple one-liners in between the songs, but I didn't really have much as far as straight stand up. So that timeline of April 2019 is when I started fluidly, you know, going to several a week and really crafting out straight stand up. But yeah, I ate a dick for that. I had a couple chuckles, but I ate a fat one the first time.
Indeed, it's a rough one for sure. Um, and what are you, you play music, so what are some of your favorite comedy specials and comedy record albums?
Ooh. um, I feel like it's generic, but killing them softly is definitely good. Dave Chappelle. It's maybe not generic to say, but just over said. But that one's great. I gotta say, the Pimp Chronicles is still a classic. The original one, Cat Williams. Um, Shane Gillis's new hour. I don't know if you've seen it yet. I've seen
No.
half of it. That's really. It's not. I'm not saying it's up there yet, but it's just really strong. Very very strong for newer specials. Let me see. Billy Gardell. I don't know if you know him. He's Mike on Mike and Molly. Kind of not known for his stand up as much, which is a big shame because he's got one special called Halftime, and it's just like rapid fire. I'm always a fan of the comic that could it's like get those LPMs up. You know what I mean?
Indeed. for sure. Those LPMs, I love it. Yeah, Dave is gonna be at the Amway. Are you going?
Yeah. No, no, I've just been so, you know, I guess tunnel visioned into what I'm doing and everything. I've only got money for gas on the road.
For sure, indeed. And Cat Williams, I have a interesting story with. Like, I went and saw the Method Man, Redman, Ghostface show at the House of Blues on the Sunset Strip,
Oh
and
fuck yeah.
it was so rad. And I was like, I couldn't afford to stay for the second show because they had an early show and a late show. And like I bought a bunch of merch from the merch table from Method Man, Redman, and they're like, yeah, dude. He goes, are you staying for the second show? The merch guy said, like, I wish, but I spent all my money on you guys. He goes, don't sweat it. We'll get you a VIP bracelet. You can come to the second show. And I'm like, word,
Dude.
yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
And so they
That's
let me
awesome.
go. They let me go up to the balcony, and like Cat Williams showed up out of nowhere and starts throwing money off the balcony. And then he was like, just giving a mean mug, like bouncing side to side with the music. And then he pours Dom Perignon for everyone and starts handing them out. And he handed one to me. I was like, no, thank you, sir. I don't drink. So it was just wild.
Damn, dude. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah. I've seen some things in my day.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn, how old are you if you don't mind me asking?
I'm old as dirt. I know I'm kidding. I'm 40 years old.
You 40? Oh shit, I thought you were like 32, man.
Damn, dude, that feels nice. I get 18 to 5,000. So it's like
I was gonna say you could just fit in that bracket just about anywhere.
it's hilarious. I just like I like to mess with people, and it's fun. But it's those
Oh,
Asian genes,
absolutely.
Asians don't raise them, they say. So it's pretty true.
That's true. There's
Yeah.
no way. It's either was it? I think Joe Coy said it, where it's like you either the woman that looks like a 13-year-old girl or 100 years old. There's
Yeah.
no in between.
Indeed. Oh, Joe Coy, he's the best. One of the best, I
Yeah,
tell you.
one
Yeah.
of the best. Absolutely, absolutely.
That shout out was like, man, I didn't expect that at all. Like, I just told him, hey, you mean a lot to us Asian folks because there's comics, because there's not a lot of us out here. He goes, all right, Sareth, what's your, he grabs my phone, takes a bunch of selfies, switches it to video mode. He goes, all right, what's your next big thing? And I said, Sareth Fest. It's on my shirt. And then he plugs it, and I'm like, dude, 13
Yeah,
seconds. So like, that put a stamp on my career. So I'm like, hell
yeah.
yeah. Now,
That is super awesome.
hell
That's
yeah.
I know him and Russell Peters are known to like just pick up, sort of showcasing open micers to a certain extent, take them, and have them open up shows, and are real gracious like that. So that's really cool. I'm sure he'd remember you, as far as like if you were to try to touch base.
Indeed, I need to. It's been like 4 years, and like right after that, like it was like 2019 when that happened. Submitted to a bunch of festivals in 2020. Got picked up to all of them that I submitted to. The pandemic hits. I had to cancel out 6 of them. I'm like, crap.
Oh, jeez.
Now I gotta start building back up again, and I'm sure like I put that on all the best comedy videos I have. So it's like, all right, Joe Coy meant it. So and so it's great.
That is cool.
And like
That is dope.
the sad thing was like there's a comic that went up before me, to meet him, and he gave him a card, and Joe was like, "Hey, do you know this guy?" Like he gave me this card, and I'm like, I swear I put this on like everything. I've never met the guy. I've never seen the guy perform stand up. Like I interviewed everyone except for him, so I don't know what if he's real or not.
Yeah.
And then he checks the business card, and then he gives me a shout out. Goes, "Good looking out." I'm like, thanks.
Well,
So
I hate that energy. Like, don't get me wrong; those are very, it's a good way to get your name out and everything. And I should make my business cards too. Everybody should have them. But that energy of the immediate, you know what I mean? Have you been talking to another comic for less than 30 seconds and they got one to hand you? And it's
mhm.
like, all right, man. It's just like, yeah, we've not even gotten there yet. But sure, yeah, I'll take a card. And they got a pamphlet, brochure. They're already slinging T-shirts.
It's unreal. I don't know. It's like and the ones that get me are like the ones that you already know, and they still hand you their business card.
That too. That's especially that. Yeah.
It's like, come on, dude. We're like pals already. Like, save it for a business transaction, not like a
Yeah.
personal transaction. But it is what it is. All right. So if you've been on tours, so if you can go on tour with any comedian locally and internationally known, which comedians would you like to get a tour with?
Oh man. Oh, geez, to fit my weird, I don't know. Bo Burnham's always been one of those guys that I've looked up to, and he rarely tours as it is. But if I got even one show just open for him would be, life changing for sure. Um, who else? I really like Rashad Baker. Do you know him?
He
He's a
sounds
guy.
familiar.
He's a guy from Winter Haven. We've carpooled to a lot of shows together. Hilarious, really, really funny. I think he won McCurdy's their competition recently down in Sarasota. Even though he's again around my parts, so just hustles when he can. He's one of my favorite people. I know that's a small scale to big scale, but oh, who else, man? There's so many. I would definitely be down to. Um, Even Noel Miller. He's like out there doing stand up now. That'd be interesting to open up for him.
Indeed, for sure. That's a really good list right there. Like I whenever I'm at a friend's watching Netflix, I'm like I'm gonna go watch Bo Burnham and watch his performances because they're pretty good. Oh
Absolutely.
yeah. And so let's see here. If you can get roasted by five comedians, top five dead or alive, which ones would you have to get roasted by?
Ooh, Bruce is just like that's the first one I think of. Teddy Ray. I don't know if you know Teddy Ray, but
Mm,
he passed away like a year ago, and he was if you've ever heard the meme, what's she doing out here double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon? That's him. It's his audio, but legendary stand up comic that I definitely looked at him as a North Star. Um,
he was
oh
on All
gosh,
Deaf Digital too, right?
All Def Digital, yeah, roast me and all that stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Even the new courtroom show was pretty good that they were doing. But oh, who the fuck else, man? CP. It's like I'm just thinking of like all deaf people now in that show. He's a very funny stand up as well. Chris Powell is his actual name. Let me think. Maybe Ronnie Chang and Jimmy Carr.
Awesome, nice list there you got there. Awesome. And where do you see your comedy journey in the next 5 years?
Oh Lord, that's a I think question we ask ourselves every day. Next 5 years, hopefully better. I mean, it's like sky's the limit. It's like I'm always trying to achieve big thing. Hopefully sustaining. If I can sustain a career in comedy 5 years from now and not have to, clock into a day job, that's the dream, right? Because we mutually know so many people. I mean, yeah, on both sides of the fence, I feel like people that are able to even do simple things as like just running local showcases and having a career in comedy in that regard, um, to touring, to blowing up on TikTok, or just doing the 9 to 5 thing. But yeah, that's the goal, at the very least.
Indeed, most definitely. And you've done musical comedy. Which other forms of comedy would you venture off into, like sketch, improv, acting, writing, directing, etc.?
I like writing a lot for sure. I've done a couple sketches mutually via friends when I'm asked to. That's always the case. It's like, hey, you want to do so? I have some sketch ideas that I've tried in the past, but am not the usual one to initiate that process. Because I know it's a lengthy one and an involved one, but it's a lot of fun when you get to do them for sure. So I like the occasional acting or whatever, and voice acting would be dope. I would love to, I can do some impressions, but it's mostly the voices in my head. It's that'd be neat. But yeah, stand up's my baby, that's for sure.
Indeed. I love stand up too, for sure. And let's see here. What's your favorite joke a comic has written?
My favorite what?
Your favorite joke a comic has written?
Favorite joke, a comic. Oh my god, that's a toughie wuffy. Oh, gosh, it's gonna make me think now. What is yours?
Let's see here. I got to go back to, well, it's like more like what got me into stand up was John
Yeah.
Leguizamo. Um, was it Manny the Fanny?
Oh
And
yeah,
that got me
that's
into
just
stand up.
yeah.
And then I finally did my first drag show with Anna Lepley, and I was uh, I was gonna
Yes.
I was gonna go with Tuck Norris, but it was already on the Urban Dictionary. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. So I ended up going with Violet Ney after Violent J.
Violet name. I like that.
And
I like
then
that a lot.
I turned myself into a geisha, and I took the geisha makeup and turned it into a juggalo makeup. It's just like I went all
That's
out.
fucking great, dude.
Yeah, I had like a cheap bathrobe because I couldn't afford a komodo, a komoda, komoda, I don't know. You know what?
Kimono? Yeah.
Kimono. There it
Yeah.
is. I think I was thinking about the drag queens and dragons. uh, and then, but yeah, I wore jeans and I couldn't find. I didn't want to do the like dress up in the bathing suit for the swimsuit competition. So I
Sure.
had the guy at the flea market spray paint or spray like the shirt like in a design of a bikini, and it was black with yellow polka dots. I was like, I look like Dusty Rhodes if he wore like a bathing suit. So it was great. And then I had everyone autograph it. It was perfect. So
That's fucking fun. I loved, yeah, I did one of her shows. I went as Queen Hooker, you
oh,
know,
nice.
and just yeah, had a black dress and some Doc Martens and a wig, and that's I took it off like halfway through because it was itchy as hell. I should have got a wig cap. I didn't think about that. But then Anna got mad and she said, "Put the wig back on." I'm like, I can still be pretty without it, you know. But oh, it's those shows are great. It's so much fun.
Hmm. And like Roy Shepard and I went to like Target to go get our nail polish.
Yeah. Oh
we went
yeah.
we went shopping together, and it took me forever to paint my nails. I was like, I don't know how women do this. I'm like, this is or drag queens. I just it's a lot of work. Yeah, but like
It is.
I had makeup tips from Sir Winston Pickles, and he was like,
Oh
yeah.
gosh. He's the man to talk to.
Yep. He goes, "This is the brand I use for the white paint, and here's the black ones that he just taught me a lot." And I made the red lipstick like the little ones like for like the geisha lips. It's like, man, everyone thought I was stunning, so it's great. Like Rob Roick and his wife, and they're like, "Man, you really went all out." And I said, "Anna, don't let me win. I'm thinking about taking another hiatus, so." But I'm back now, so it's good.
Good shit. I love Robin. And Winston, hey, if anybody watching or listening doesn't know who Winston Pickles is, go look that man up and support that British clown. I don't know. I see him on TikTok all the time. It's just, a British clown telling dark jokes. I mean, sometimes just more, campy or observant than others, but sometimes some very dark fucking jokes. And I love it. I'm here for it all the way.
Indeed. I need to get him on a feature fest because I got he's just a sweetheart. He
Yeah,
is.
he's fantastic.
I remember one time he walked up to like pineapples one time and like with his briefcase, and there was a people that were like coming out of this pineapples, and he was going in, and they had a phobia of clowns, and it was like the funniest thing ever. I was like, you,
Yes, I've seen that too. I've been at venues with Winston while there's phobia of clown people.
it's so great. Oh man. Jeez. Anyhow, uh, oh, how about yours? What's your favorite joke a comic has written?
Dang, thought you swerved back into it, man. You sneaky
Yeah.
snake. That is tough. I almost like gotta go just off of like one of the first stand-up, actually probably the first stand-up special I ever seen. Do you know John Panette?
No,
Um,
I don't think
he
so.
was a bigger dude, and he talked about freaking Disney World. Like one of the first jokes I remember, like stand-up jokes I laughed really hard at. Because I don't even know if it's my favorite, but that's one I can feel like I can think of right now that was really inspirational on me. Was his almost like oh, what's that Eddie Murphy movie where it's like it's shit, it's his like his big mother is coming down the water slide or whatever, It was
or
basically like that, but in a stand-up joke form, where he talked about basically, crashing through a fence and everybody's yelling "Free Willy" and shit like that. And I'm not doing it justice right now, but that is a hell of a joke. So
hmm,
shout out to John Panette, rest in peace. Sort of a similar Ralphie May situation, both big guys.
indeed. Was it Norbit? I think that, or
Norbit, thank you.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what
indeed.
I was trying to think of.
I've never seen it, but like I just remembered the trailer of this the thing. But
Neither have I, but I know that scene. I've seen that floating around on Facebook or whatever, and I know where she's like squeezing in it and it's real tight, and then she just shoots. It was basically, yeah, before that movie was out, it was like the 90s, I think he put out that special and told a joke similar to that situation happening to himself.
for sure, indeed. So yep. And then I guess what shows do you have coming up?
Oh, dang. Let me check my ish. I know next. What is this coming out? Oh, this is live, isn't it, right now on the YouTubes?
Yep, and my two Facebook accounts, Threatfest
Oh,
and
good shit.
CutePie.com. So we're streaming
Oh, good
everywhere.
shit.
Yeah,
Okay, well, next Friday, so October 6th, I'm at Beachside Records, in Satellite Beach. Love it there. The 7th is, of course, Sareth Fest. Hell
yeah.
yeah, hell yeah. That's gonna be a good time. And you got me on the storytelling portion as well, right?
Mm-hmm. That's
That would
gonna be
be
a
good.
lot.
What is it, 10 minutes?
Yep, 10 minutes for a story, and then 30 minutes for your
Dope.
song. So,
Good
and
shit, good shit. That'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'll definitely be save the dead people material for the storytelling. That's for sure. That's all I'll say. Um, then let's see, October 14th, I'm at Sanford West End Theater in Sanford with Ross Paget.
awesome. He's a legend, I tell you.
Yes, Ross Paget's hilarious. He does that anytime someone walks in or is getting up to go to the bathroom, he goes for no reason.
He calls me a legend. I'm like, dude, you're the legend. You're like, he was actually on the show at the Improv. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
good shit.
got him, Shireen, like Devin Siebold, and gosh, it's just
All
us,
fantastic.
Ryan Holmes. So it's just constantly
Ryan
being
Holmes.
promoted throughout from monsters until real laughs. We got it all like hooked up, so it was great.
I don't know if I told you Devin Siebold taught me fourth and fifth grade history.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. I didn't know he was
Yeah.
that old.
Yeah. Well, I'm 26, so I was maybe this was 15, 16 years ago thinking about it. Yeah, it's crazy. But
Wow.
he was, and also working as a teacher. I Yeah, I think he's full time in stand up now. He quit his job a little while ago. But he was working like two or three jobs. So that was the funniest thing. It was like I was annoying him during the day, and then me and my chubby parents would go out to Carrabba's, or I think he also worked at Longhorn Steakhouse, and it'd be like, Mr. Siebel, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh fuck this kid, I can't get away. So I'm like, I love that that was kind of the impression back in the day. And then years later, he sees me coming to the stand up scene, and he's just kind of like, there he is. It's like we have a good rapport, but there's definitely that little bit of. I still call him Mr. Siebold, almost like the Mr. White thing in Breaking Bad.
Good stuff. That's awesome. But man, that's so cool. Like how our lives intertwined with all like Devin and
Yeah,
all those guys. But he's doing big things now, so that's pretty good of him.
absolutely. I couldn't be prouder of him. The whole board teachers tour is like huge. Or big theaters across the country that he's doing.
Yeah, definitely a long way from the steakhouse days. So
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's
yeah,
come up. You got to give it to him.
indeed, for sure. And so this is the stand up speakeasy, which is secret society of stand up comics. So you got to be invited into this cool clique, right? I don't do clicks, but this is the cabal of comedy. Um,
Sure.
so with that being said, which five comics in your scene would like to be seen on a future episode of the stand up speakeasy?
Ooh, five comics I want to see on here locally. Okay, okay, okay. Um, Rob Smiles. If you haven't, I might go Orlando for a majority of these, but maybe some hometown guys. Austin Kleeman. There's my couple Orlando people. Let me move around. Um, Even Dan Bast over in Tampa area. I'll throw his name in there. Two more. If you can, do you know AJ Wilkerson?
I don't know him, but I know of him. He's pretty famous now,
Okay.
but I'll do my best to get him on board.
Yeah, he's awesome. He I'm featured for him in December 8th through the 10th at the Joke Joint in Summerfield. That'll be great. But he's hilarious. He's a very down to earth guy. Um, Let me think of another local. Let me think of Tim Blaylock if you've not had him, because I
Awesome.
know he's at least local to your area. So I'm trying to pick. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. It's gonna be so much fun next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and so
Yes, sir.
it's gonna be a whole third annual Sweat Fest. So it's gonna be
Third, I was
legendary.
gonna say 3 years running, man. How long you want to do this? Just keep it going till the wheels fall off, huh?
Absolutely. Well, the one in
That's
Pueblo,
fantastic.
Colorado is 10 years, so we just celebrated ten
Yeah.
years. Yeah,
Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense.
yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
it's a trip knowing that, like, there was a festival accompanying me every single year of my stand-up journey. So it's like I'm batting 10 for 10, batting 1,000. So it's pretty awesome.
That is awesome. I still got to get out to Colorado. I hear it's beautiful. And yeah, the weather's just amazing. It's shrooms are recreational there, I believe.
Marijuana is too. I smoked
Hmm.
for the first time since 2006, like last week, in Colorado, and I had Method Man's weed, and uh,
Nice.
yeah, I took the hybrid route, and I smoked it. Took one hit. I said I'm just gonna do one hit. 'Cause I know the bartender said, it's really strong. You gotta go for the light. Just take one hit because you haven't done it in a while. And man, my voice deepened for 25 minutes, and I went on stage, and my jokes all landed. So I was like, this is
Good
pretty
shit.
nice. Yeah.
Good shit.
Good stuff. Oh man, I've got a piece together. It's a Colorado Springs split. So I did Oscar Blues and I did Vultures. So I did nothing but musical related jokes, references, and so
Oh, nice.
there's like I didn't know I had 10 minutes of music related jokes in this thing. So I'll piece it together and I'll send it to you, and it's gonna be
Definitely.
it's pretty wild, awesome. Because I know that you love the music stuff. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Keep that coming to me. Definitely anytime. That sounds
awesome,
fucking amazing. And
indeed.
it was all like it pretty fluid as far as those 10 minutes.
Yeah, I did, the 5 minutes because I wanted to make sure that I didn't repeat my jokes. So yeah, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like it was a rough start for the Oscar Blues one because like some guy was like signed up, but they couldn't be found, and so I was entering from the hallway, and the host was like, "Hey, I can't find the guy. Do you want to go up?" I'm like, "Crap, I was supposed to close this out." So I'm like, "Yeah, sure, let me start my
Yeah.
camera." And so I was like stumbling at first, and then I caught my stride, and I did pretty good. I got an applause break just making Marilyn Manson references, and I'm like, this is
Good
gonna be
shit.
a good show. Yeah, it was a dope show, if you will. But yeah, it was rad. Good
Oh
stuff.
man.
And then my easy applause break comes after my self love song. They just go, "I can't believe you wrote a whole song about loving yourself," and I'm like, sometimes you gotta love yourself. So it's and like if I perform,
Amen.
whenever I perform at the Nog, like lighters go up, everyone sings along with me. They finish my lyrics. It's like the best song ever. So,
It's
yeah.
the home, man. Yeah. They
Yeah.
definitely go all out for you.
As soon as I learn how to play, your instrument, the ukulele, and play it, or maybe I should just take you on tour and you can just play for me and I'll sing the lyrics on top of it. So,
I'll be your backup guy. I'll be like, what is that? Jeff Dunham's guitar guy. I'll be the ukulele guy.
oh yeah, dude, that'd be rad. Awesome, King Hooker. Thank you so much for being my guest, and thank you so much for coming back on Sareth Fest. And we're gonna
Of
have a
course,
wild,
man.
good time, and I can't wait to party with you again. It's been a long time, so we're gonna have fun.
Likewise, I can't wait. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Any final words you'd like to give out to the audience at home?
No, hey, follow me on socials, King Hooker everywhere except for TikTok where I'm shadow banned. So if you type in King Hook and scroll down, it should pop up before you type in that wretched ER. But otherwise, blessings. I appreciate you, brother. It's been a hell of a time. I really enjoyed the conversation.
All right, back at you. I appreciate you and all of King Hooker's socials. And if you want to donate to him, they're all right there too. Keep his music and comedy career going, never ending. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll see you at the fest.